Danny DeVito is now 80, but behind the laughs, the fame, and the unforgettable characters is a life marked by pain, rejection, and resilience. His own mother admitted she never wanted him. His father turned violent when he drank. And for decades, Danny battled a rare condition that made every day a struggle. Hollywood offered him millions to change his face. He burned the contract instead. This is the heartbreaking truth about how one of Hollywood's funniest stars has been suffering in silence all along. Born in Neptune, New Jersey in 1944, Danny DeVito was an unwanted child. His mother, Julia, already had children. At 40, she didn't want another. Years later, she told him, "I didn't want him, but I'm proud of him." Most people would break hearing that. Danny turned it into fuel. His father, Daniel Sr., owned a candy shop in Asbury Park. People loved him during the day. But every night, alcohol turned him into someone else. Between 1950 and 1955, the police were called to their home 17 times. Danny learned to read danger, the sound of bottles, the shift in footsteps. Sometimes he hid. Sometimes he ran. But the fear never left. By 14, his neighborhood was crumbling. Heroin was everywhere. 2 childhood friends were already dead. He knew he had to escape. So he saved $237 working small jobs and convinced his parish priest to speak to his parents. He asked to attend oratory prep school, only when his father was sober and his mother was weighed down by guilt. They agreed. That decision changed everything. Of the 12 friends he grew up with, only 3 made it past 25 without dying, going to prison, or getting addicted. Danny also had a secret, a rare condition called Fairbanks disease. It stunted his growth. He only grew to 4 feet 10 inches. But it wasn't just height. His hips, back, and knees were always in pain. In his 20s and 30s, he lived daily with pain levels between 6 and 8 out of 10. Still, he refused pain meds. During filming for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, he collapsed 4 times, but played it off like part of the act. Quietly, he donated over $12 million to help others suffering from bone disorders. He never attached his name. He didn't want attention. He just wanted to help. Before acting, Danny DeVito was a beautician. He trained for 1,500 hours and graduated second in his class. He worked at his sister Angela's salon, Curl Up and Dye. He got so good that people booked him months in advance. He even invented the Neptune twist hairstyle. But one day, a client's husband, a theater producer, suggested he try acting. In 1962, Danny applied to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, not for acting, but for makeup. They asked him to perform a monologue. With no training, he picked a scene from The Rainmaker. Something clicked. They offered him a spot, not for makeup, but for acting. He went back to the salon, unsure. 3 days later, they called again, with a scholarship. That second call changed his life. Soon, he was living in New York City with a roommate, Michael Douglas. They lived with cockroaches and no heat. Rent was $75 a month. They lived on canned beans and stale bread. Danny was rejected over 200 times. He took odd jobs, parking cars, working in clothing stores, even cleaning cages at the LA Zoo. He lived out of his Volkswagen Beetle, showered at the YMCA, and read lines to monkeys just to keep practicing. In 1972, his father died. Danny was heartbroken. He applied for a postal job, thinking it was time to give up acting. The turning point came on a day when Danny DeVito was ready to give up. He had applied for a postal job, thinking acting just wasn't going to work out. But then, the phone rang. It was a casting call for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The producer? His old roommate, Michael Douglas. Danny had already played the character Martini on stage. He didn't need to prepare. He was ready. The film was shot inside a real mental hospital, with real patients as extras. Though he appeared on screen for just 5 minutes and 52 seconds, Danny made a lasting impact. Then, in 1978, he made a move most called crazy. He turned down 3 movie roles to audition for a sitcom, Taxi. Even his agent warned it could end his career. But Danny knew Louis De Palma was a role meant for him. He delivered a 7-minute monologue that stunned the room. Creator James L. Brooks demanded they cast him, even threatening to quit. Within weeks, Danny received over 11,000 fan letters. Louis was rude, loud, and unforgettable. By 1980, 93% of Americans could recognize him by voice alone. Danny won a Golden Globe, then an Emmy, delivering a 12-word speech that made history. During Taxi, he met Rhea Perlman, the love of his life. In 1983, they started Jersey Films, working nights and weekends while filming. Over 40 years, they've worked on 17 projects together, vowing never to go more than 2 weeks without creating something side by side. Danny DeVito made the rare leap from TV to film, and did it well. In 1984, he stole scenes in Romancing the Stone and starred in The Jewel of the Nile. In 1986, he wowed critics in Ruthless People. He made his directorial debut in Throw Mama from the Train in 1987. In 1988, he starred with Arnold Schwarzenegger in Twins. They took no salary, just a cut of the profits. The movie made over $216 million. Each earned over $35 million. That changed how the world saw Danny DeVito, not just a character actor, a leading man. In 1992, Danny DeVito transformed into the Penguin in Batman Returns, spending hours in makeup to become the grotesque yet unforgettable Oswald Cobblepot. That same year, he took a bold leap behind the camera, directing Hoffa, starring Jack Nicholson, and written by David Mamet, a powerful shift from comedy to serious drama. In 1994, his company Jersey Films backed a dark, bizarre script by a then-unknown Quentin Tarantino. The film? Pulp Fiction. They took the risk. It changed cinema forever. By 1996, Danny directed Matilda, casting Rhea Perlman and caring off-screen for young Mara Wilson, whose mother was dying of cancer. He even brought her a near-final cut before she passed. In 1999, he honored his old Taxi co-star with Man on the Moon, the story of Andy Kaufman. But behind it all was pain, Fairbanks disease. He filmed through agony, collapsing off-camera. In 2025, he finally spoke out, demanding change for others who suffer in silence. Now at 80, Danny DeVito is still working, still breaking rules. He's producing Game 7, a docuseries with his kids Jake and Lucy. He's still on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, still making people laugh, still crawling out of couches and into hearts. He wasn't born wanted, but he became unforgettable. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.